TV, a broader perspective.
Sustain the vote against corruption. Tinubu charges EFCC. Our country is not a nation of fraudsters, and the scornful reference to internet crimes as a Nigerian scam across the world is unfair, untenable, and unacceptable. Today's world is run real-time on the internet. The President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, through the Vice President, His Excellency Kashim Shettima, during a one-day public enlightenment on youth, religion and the fight against corruption and launch of risk assessment projects for ministries, departments and agencies by Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC). On Wednesday, 31st of January 2024, at Shehu Yaradua Center, Abuja, expressed government's determination to give corruption hard tackles as the country cannot focus on growth and development and at the same time offer any breathing space to corrupt practices.
I'm profoundly honored to address you on a matter of immense significance, the intersection of youth, religion, and our collective battle against corruption. We are here because the future we intend to build rests on protecting our youth, who are the heartbeat of our nation and the drivers of innovation that we are seeking to compete with globally. We commend the EFCC for remaining a moral compass, persistently routing the nation's conscience. Whether combating corruption or addressing the escalating contagion of cyber crimes, the EFCC has been vocal through its actions, telling the world that Nigeria is neither complicit nor complacent in confronting the menace of corruption. Over the decades, Nigerians have been victims of misleading. Such gross misrepresentation fails to reflect the true essence of our diverse and resilient nation of 226 million people.
He added that no nation grows without breaking the talks of corruption. The renewed hope of our government is impervious to corruption. While extending commendation to EFCC chairman, he urged all heads of MDAs to cooperate with the commission to ensure that anti-corruption projects succeed. He interjected, "What binds us together is more than what separates us."
What binds us together surpasses whatever that divides us. I extend my commendation to the EFCC chairman for the insightful conception of the Proud Risk Assessment Project tailored for MDS. As custodians of public trust, I urge all heads of MDS to collaborate with the EFCC in this crucial effort. The goal is clear: to streamline governance processes, fortify against malfeasance, and ensure the judicious use of government resources for the benefit of our citizens. Again, I extend heartfelt congratulations to the EFCC and all stakeholders involved in this anti-corruption project. I express, on behalf of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, sincere appreciation to all religious leaders, traditional rulers, and heads of government institutions present, acknowledging that Nigeria is our shared patrimony.
Executive Chairman of the Commission, Mr. Ola Olokuyode, while welcoming participants to the public enlightenment, cited that the Commission has developed a remarkable tool which they intend to deploy and is aimed at preventing corruption. He recounted the Commission's effort and profile over the years in tackling the monster of corruption, alluded to many grounds that had been covered in the areas of conviction and recoveries. Hence, the unabating trend of corrupt practices across the country still calls for serious concerns.
Unique advocacy and sensitization program of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission designed to mobilize a collective mass of voices and actions against all manifestations of corruption in our country. While the theme of this engagement, youth, religion, and the fight against corruption, is speaking directly to the youth demography and faith leaders, it should also resonate with all of us and everyone who grapples with the evils of corruption in our society. In my few months as chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, I have had the opportunity to reflect on the manner in which the fight against corruption has been executed over the last 2 decades. With all modesty, we have been effective in deploying our enforcement powers in tackling various forms of financial crimes, including grand corruption and cybercrime. Our conviction profile and record of assets recovery is unmatched by any other agency. But rather than abate, these crimes appear to have festered, in spite of our modest achievements.
He assured that the project called Fraud Risk Assessment, when fully developed, will save cost, time and resources spent on investigation, adding that the Commission will start from the 20 extremely vulnerable agencies of government, and the State House has been penciled down as the first to commence execution with.
It's meant to assist government agencies to address systemic vulnerabilities at the personnel, institutional and environmental levels and take preemptive measures. When fully developed, it will save the nation billions of naira in stolen wealth, time and resources spent in investigating and grand corruption cases. The project is intended to commence in the first instance with 20 extremely vulnerable agencies of government. And I'd like to claim the indulgence of His Excellency, sir, that one of the institutions I've penciled down is the State House itself. So we are going to start our foreign assessment at the villa. When we leave the villa, we are going to the National Assembly. We are going to the National Service Commission. We want to look into what they are doing there. Their contract and procurement and what process. When we leave that place, we are going to the Federal Judicial Service Commission as well. So we go to balance before we start talking about the ministries.
He commended President Tinubu for his unflinching support to the fight against corruption in Nigeria, maintaining that with the political will of the administration, he is certain that the Commission has a golden opportunity to rewrite the story of the nation's quest for improved transparency and accountability in public affairs. The President, in the company of the Executive Chairman and other dignitaries, unveiled the interfaith manuals and also launched the Fraud Risk Assessment Project for ministries, departments, and agencies. Giving in depth to the theme, the guest speaker, Dr. John Momoh, OON, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of Channels Media Group, spoke expansively on the youth, religion, and the fight against corruption. He called for corporate reflection on the issue of internet crimes to ensure that youth are directed to more useful engagement on the internet, as digital age has brought with it opportunities and threats in equal measures.
Fostering environments where young people are encouraged by religious and community leaders to lead the charge against corruption. This alliance can spearhead initiatives in education, community service, and advocacy, setting the stage for systematic change. Through joint efforts, we can build platforms where the voices of the youth are amplified and the teachings of religion are put into practice for the greater good. The internet is a tool, a magnificent one for that matter, that holds the power to educate, to inspire, and to connect. It's a reflection of our collective intelligence and creativity. But, like all tools, its impact depends on how we choose to use it. So I implore you to use this tool for good, use it to learn, to grow, and to help.
He added that both the Bible and Quran encourage young people to live lives of moral and ethical integrity, and called on religious leaders and institutions to assert more positive influence on the followers and communities, as a moral compass provided by religious teachings can be a formidable force against corruption.
The battle against corruption is one that we can win. It requires the energy and innovation of the youth, guided by the moral and ethical teachings of religion. Together, let's pave the way for a future where integrity is the cornerstone of our society, our country, Nigeria.
To further buttress the theme, Babatunde Fashola, SAN, former Minister of Works and Housing, chaired a panel session which comprised of Registrar of Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, Professor of Criminology and Sociology of Law, Administrator, Islamic Education Trust, Executive Director of Development Speaks Academy, and Coordinating Chaplain, National Christian Center.
This is the time, perhaps in the whole of the history of mankind, that talent is being turned a negativity into a positivity. Can we turn those skills into cybersecurity skills?
The problems we have in our country today, whether the economic, political, or social problems, can be traced to a number of issues. But fundamentally, I think it's our inability to comply with what we might regard as virtuous values, customs, norms, and laws. Government is the custodian of the people's mandate. Youth also have a role to play, but government has central role to play in it. I believe that religion is a solution, not part of the problem. I also believe that Nigeria is not a secular country. Nigeria is a multi-religious country.
Corruption in Nigeria has passed the alarming and entered the fatal stage. And Nigeria will die if we continue to pretend that she is suffering from only a slight indisposition.
Like poverty, like healthcare, corruption will never disappear. We will just have to fight it until it is under control.
Questions were also raised by participants.
How many youth can make it legitimately without soiling their hand? And this soiling of hands, they are not coming from the home. They are coming from, they see it in the society.
The role of proper representation in the fight against corruption.
What are the policies on ground to exterminate corruption in the youth and adults?
What efforts is the EFCC making to fight corruption first from our government before coming down to the youth? Because looking at the way things are going currently, I feel this corruption is coming from above, like from the government. There are some cases we hear of snake swallowing money, monkey, crazy cases, and nothing has been done about it. And when the youth see all these things, it triggers their anger.
Don't wait for anybody to build your capacity. One of those things that's a dividend of probably unintended benefit of COVID is free literature, free online courses.
It is not that you now take it that in government to snake existed that was swallowing money. So that's not true. There was no snake anywhere, but human beings swallowed the money and was lying against the snake. Thank you.
The public engagement gathered a race of personalities from MDAs, the three arms of government, politicians, civil society organizations, other organizations, groups, religious bodies, media, and respective individuals who presented their goodwill messages and acknowledged the ingenuity of EFCC.
Appointments of government officials must be taken very serious. So we must fight corruption. And I believe we are ready to give it a trial, because I think there's no better time than now that we must come together to fight corruption.
So we are in this together as partners that must begin to fight corruption so that we'll have a better country. We also know that these universities, or our mandate, is not just to develop curiosity, to develop innovation, to develop skills in areas of expertise in this children, but also for vital is the fact that we must mold these children in character.
Today is another red letter day for our dear country, and I will give a very wonderful appreciation to the chairman of EFCC, coming up with this initiative of things that we should be talking about in our country.
EFCC chairman, and we trust that they will add value to everything we're going to do in our nation. And we do hope that corruption will be brought down completely to zero.
This one-day workshop and lunch is in furtherance to promote abhorrence for corruption among adherents of the two religions, Islamic and Christianity, to address the challenges of youth involvement in cybercrimes and how religion could be used as a weapon for their reorientation.
Beam TV, a broader perspective.